Hey guys, Tech Relay here with a comparison of some formerly popular mice. Now these mice were all front page, the best mice you should buy, but since then their popularity has fallen. Well, as is their prices. So let's see if you guys should still pick one of these mice up, and which one out of these are the best. Looking at these mice, you can see some very popular gaming mice with a strong productivity contestant. Logitech have some strong offerings with the ever so popular MX Master and the G502, and we will also be taking a look at the Caster from Mionix. First, we'll be looking at the most important factor for most people, pricing. At the moment, the G502 and the Caster cost around the same at $60 from Amazon, with the MX Master a bit pricier at $73. So these mice are definitely on the pricier end. Now, let's take a look at features. These mice all have some extra buttons. The Caster has 6 buttons, while the G502 has 10 and the MX Master has 7. I personally do not make use of any of these buttons, but there are definitely people who would. The MX Master has a side-scrolling wheel to the side, which is extremely useful to many people who work with video editing software and spreadsheets. The MX Master has a sensor that can go up to 1600 dpi, while the G502 can go up to 12,000 and the Caster can go to 10,000. The MX Master is also, unlike the others, a wireless mouse and is more geared towards productivity, while the other two are wired mouse. The two gaming mice, the G502 and the Mionix Caster, also offer RGB 16.8 million color lighting. Although this is purely aesthetic, it is definitely nice to have. Aesthetically, these mice all look very nice. In my opinion, the G502 is the worst looking and the Caster is the best. Two of these mice are very clean looking and look good in pretty much every setup and situation. The mice all have very good ergonomic designs. All three of the mice are right-handed designs, so if you are left-handed, then you are out of luck here. But if you are right-handed, then the mice feel great. The MX Master, being wireless, is a bit on the heavier side as it needs to store a battery. The Caster is the lightest of the three, weighing in at only 93.8 grams without the wire. All these mice are a significant step up from something like an Apple Magic Mouse or a generic Logitech mouse. The MX Master is made specifically for people who use the palm grip, but if you have big hands, then the claw grip will also work for you in this mouse. I really liked the shape of the MX Master, which in a way is a bigger version of the G502. I personally normally use a claw grip, but with the MX Master, the palm grip felt really good, and I feel I got a good experience from it. Since the G502 is a very similar shape to the MX Master, the palm grip works really well with it, and because the mouse is smaller than the MX, it can be used with the claw grip really effectively. One problem I did find with the shape of the G502 was that it is a very thin mouse. My pinky finger was always touching the table, and I have very small hands, so I would imagine this mouse would not be a great choice for people with larger hands. The Caster is, in my opinion, the best shape out of the three, and that is saying a lot, as the MX Master and Performance MX were my favourite for a very long time. The Caster is great because it is really good with all grip styles. I use the claw grip and it feels really nice. This mouse is also really good for palm and fingertip grip styles. Now, into the technical stuff. The Mionix Caster uses, in my opinion, the worst of the three sensors. It uses the PixArt PMW3310 sensor. The G502 has a PixArt PMW3366 sensor, and the MX Master uses Logitech's amazing dark field sensor. This sensor can pretty much track on everything, even glass, which is quite amazing seeing as the other two mice can't even track on my glossy desk. The main buttons on all the mice use Omron switches. The MX Master is the most versatile of the mice, as you can use it anywhere, because it will work on nearly any surface, and you will not need a mousepad. On the other two, you definitely need a mousepad, and the G502 has very weak mouse feet, and preserve them in the best way possible, it is a good idea to use a mousepad. What I'm going to talk about next is something that, in my opinion, is not talked about enough in the world of mousing, and that is scroll wheels. Scroll wheels are really important, and all three of these mice, in my opinion, have excellent scroll wheels, but one is better than the rest. Now, you're probably thinking, well, of course the productivity mouse is going to have the best scroll wheel, and there, you'd be right, the MX Master does have the best of three. I really like the infinite scroll as it makes it easy to scroll down really big web pages and spreadsheets. The smoothness is also really good. The only fault with the scroll wheel is that the scroll steps in ratchet mode aren't as defined as I would like, but that is only a slight flaw in an otherwise great product. The G502 has the worst scroll wheel of the three. It is sort of like the MX Masters, but just not as good. You cannot scroll quickly from ratchet to enter infinite scroll, which is one thing I really liked, but you have to push a button to change the mode from ratchet to free spin. Another problem I have with this scroll wheel is that the button is really hard to press and is nowhere near as light as the scroll button in the MX Master. The Myonix Caster has a very solid scroll wheel. The steps are very defined and the button is easy enough to press without applying much force. It strangely reminds me of the scroll wheel in my first mouse, the Logitech M325. The Caster doesn't have my favourite scroll wheel, but it's definitely far from my least favourite. I'm not going to tell you guys which mouse out of these are the best, well, because that's your decision, but I am going to tell you that my current favourite and daily driver is the Myonix Caster. It is definitely my favourite all-round mouse just because of the grip versatility and just overall solid feel and construction. The buttons all feel nice and the tracking is really good on my mousepad. If you like this type of video, then make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more of me on your screens, then hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time.